Anywhere between 325 and 375 is ideal for fried chicken. I have boneless, skinless, uh, dark meat chicken thighs here, and I'll be cooking them at about 350-ish probably. Because as you add chicken, your temperature is gonna dip down a bit before it comes back up. So it's probably gonna be between 350 and 375, somewhere in there. Doesn't have to be exactly perfect. Here I've added my seasonings like cayenne, pepper powder, mustard powder, black pepper, and a little dash of salt to my 50% brown rice flour, 50% organic gold medal flour. Um, Mixing up the flours gives it kind of a crispier, peakier texture, where it's not as flat, but it's more kind of like peakier hills and valleys. So we do one pat with this, pressing with our fingers on all the nooks and crannies. Then we go into an egg wash that is 1 cup buttermilk, 1 large egg, some ground up garlic with your grater, some more spices, and then baking soda and baking powder. Now, the baking soda and baking powder will definitely make the chicken breading very, very crispy. That's the point of that. Whisk that together, and then coat your chicken, and then a second bapping in the flour. Then you put it here, kind of let it dry, let your oil heat up, and I'd say we're probably right about ready. I'm going to drop this just a little bit, and then we're going to toss in a first test piece. I think that's probably too hot, but that's okay. You can drop it down. Okay, so there's some insight here. I did not stir the oil before I dropped the chicken in, and then as the oil bubbled and spattered around, the temperature increased to 400. So there was a 50-degree difference between what the temperature was reading and then when you stirred it up, and the temperature equalized on the thermometer. Remember, this isn't accurate 100% either. It's touching the bottom best it can. So stir your oil first before you add your piece. Also, this is what the first piece looked like. That's probably a little darker, but it's going to get eaten without any complaints. Again, let's watch this temperature climb as the oil is stirred around. It still almost seems a bit hot, but it's definitely better than last time. Maintaining the temperature is huge. I usually use a Dutch oven, cast iron Dutch oven for this, but I wanted to give this a try. This is a Calphalon aluminum clad stainless steel. By the way, I'm using canola oil because it's like the cheapest, best oil. You definitely don't want to use soybean oil, which is aka vegetable oil. So here's the first piece. It worked out to be about 400 degrees. Here's the second one with about 375. And now the temperature is down even further. So obviously the hotter it is, the shorter time it will take. The cooler it is, the longer it will take. But there's a balance. And like I said, I think 350 to 375 is really the promised land. It is more difficult to maintain the temperature of the oil in this pan versus a Dutch oven, which is very thick and holds its temperature very well. The chicken, remember, will absorb heat energy, BTUs, however you want to say it, from the pan and the oil, and so that will reduce the temperature of the whole works here temporarily until you get your temperature back up. So every time you add chicken, your temperature is going to drop, and then ideally you want the temperature exactly the same from start to finish. It just makes it crispier, cooks it more evenly. And you always want to flip these to cook them on the other side, even though it's submerged, for at least a minute or something. I'd shoot for 3 minutes either side, but it doesn't always work out that way. Like, I haven't done this in a while, so I'm kind of fighting with this new fangled pan. Well, this first piece is just about as perfect as it gets. I got fresh cayenne peppers. You buy them dehydrated at Asian stores. Dried mustard powder. It's got some more spice. Cayenne pepper, black pepper. So this has got a nice peppery, fresh, clean taste with that buttermilk brine. This is good. So we're off to a really good start. I got 2 more pieces to take out. Got a few more. I'm getting better at regulating the temperature with this Calphalon tri-ply aluminum sandwich, stainless steel here. It is very difficult not to eat these as you cook them because it's incredibly good. I mean, it's tough to explain if you've never made homemade fried chicken before. It's out of this world compared to the bullshit you get at like KFC or some random restaurant. It's just not even in the same league. So I ate a piece. I'm trying not to touch these and just let them sit there. It's going to be fried chicken for a couple of days worth here. Another insight, you will notice that heavier pieces will sink closer to the bottom and they will get darker faster. Like hence, big piece, little piece, dark, light. Obviously don't put raw chicken in as you're taking cooked chicken out. Just do one at a time. Cook your chicken, take it out, let the temperature come back up, put more chicken in. Also, when you put your chicken down on the spatula or however you take it out, whatever side's the drippiest, which is usually the top if you're holding it horizontal, put that down so that, you want to get as much off as possible. I'm doing it pretty good here, just hanging it in here before I put it in the rack. This is just for show, but if you were cooking the chicken, you'd probably want to keep this pan in the oven at like 150 or 200 degrees. So make sure that when you had it all done, you still had some warm chicken. Obviously, this will reheat pretty easily. So the way I did this was I soaked the chicken in Pilsner beer for like 3 hours. And I soak it in buttermilk for 3 hours. Just all room temperature. I don't put it in the fridge. And then I rack it. Let it dry for half hour. And then batter, wash, batter, rack, cook. It's pretty easy. It's pretty damn delicious. You should kind of like maybe try to make like some kind of gochujang or something. You could buy gochujang. That would be good for this fermented chili paste. It's like I think it's a Korean thing. Or you could make like a barbecue sauce for this. Would be pretty easy to do. Or you could just put anything on here, honestly. I mean, it's perfect the way it is, but people always want to add. and that's fine. Do whatever you want to do.